Saturday at John's. Don't know what all we're gonna do today. We'll do something. Let me get this cord plugged in. All these damn notifications. Okay, that's plugged in. All right, we're good to go. Yeah, I don't know. This cord here I'll be tripping over. Well, this is an unusual thing. We got no watchers first thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Where did the under the bench?
It's behind the column, probably. Running around the other side of it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we can get away without not killing myself. Oh, we got 1 on 1. It's okay. We're up and going.
I've got that, which is 3/4.
Just lighter on it. We take that one off, that wire, and solder it onto a new one.
You got one of these on that one?
Yeah, you got one right there.
Yeah, I know. I only got one.
We'll get more. Get it from Dan.
But there's one like that. We just
okay.
We'll bend the wire. Bend the wire one side. Put this on the bend the wire to the other side, and then solder it.
Okay. So the first thing I need to do here is
that way we can keep that hump out of this section.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't bring any. Maybe I can get them out of there without ruining them.
We got some wire.
3 in 1. Like, subscribe, share, super chat, super sticker, what have you. Make this worth doing. Did you see that Gary Sinclair got his shirt last night?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he got the first stunt hanger of the year 21 shirt. Well, he designed them, so.
Well, I guess we should get the first one.
I brought T-nuts and bolts and washers too. Come on.
I don't say. What these end up weighing? Almost can't weigh them, can you?
Pretty light. Put in grams. 9. That's pretty good.
9 grams, yeah. You can't carve one out 9 grams, probably. Well, you could, but it'd take them forever. A lot more of a mess.
Yeah, these will come out.
Using small wire.
3/32. Yeah. I guess we'll just cut this off here.
Well, just leave it like that.
But I don't have any eyelets with me. Any hinges. I gotta have the hinges on there. I cut that off and take them out of there.
Oh, make a couple.
You got 3/8 eyelets?
I don't have eyelets, but I got.
There we go. All right.
He's done. Okay.
What we're going to do today is, I've stated this on the live stream before. I misjudged and made this horn too narrow for the fancy doodads that I got on this airplane. So I need to saw off the clips and move them over and make a new wire. And then I can put the push rod in. Oh, I also need I forgot to bring it. That other one of these aluminum things that I took won't go down over the top of that.
Yeah, I told you gotta check them. They might have to put them back on the mandrel, maybe. These were all my first experiment at even trying to do this and make these with the rolled over end. Because I wanted them to glue back here but still hold the thing in.
Right.
You know, rather than just a piece of tubing.
Nope.
Try that one.
Nope.
Just gotta go through them.
I might have to sand that edge down.
Is it the tube that's sticking proud, or is it?
Yeah. It'll be fine. There we go. That works. You just epoxy them on, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You can use really any kind of epoxy on that because that's not integral to actually holding that. It is sort of, but
I got a nick right there in the thread. It'll be fine. I get it on there and I'll globber a little baby weld on that.
you know, I had this one break where I had these threads chucked in the lathe and was turning this carbon off of it.
Yeah.
And it snapped off right up here, right at the hilt, right up in the end. And I'm going, huh, makes you wonder.
It'll be fine. Okay.
See, this is all I'm using for that.
Yeah.
You know, and then I take a couple blocks of wood and sort of force that down around that, and that sort of pressure turning, I guess you call it.
Maybe I get that screwed on past that.
Is that all you needed was one of them?
Yep.
Got them on the other one? Or is that wrapped?
It's fine. This is two push rods. This is a push rod and a push rod. I took a push rod, one of them push rods like that, and this is one of them big arrow shafts that we had.
Yeah.
And I JB welded the push rod inside a push rod.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't going nowhere.
All right.
So, okay, I had a soda here. Okay, the first thing I need to do is saw these off. Well, actually, I need to lay it out. And
You need to lay that out because that determines how long of a piece of wire I got to cut. Now, this is a drill rod.
whatever.
It's a soft bend drill rod. What's this for?
Well, that's what I was going to use, but I really like the around the corner.
The trailing edge relieve type.
Actually, let me see. Where's that blank you got? Yeah, that's for 3/4.
Yeah.
Yes.
What you normally use,
Right.
3/4 to 3/4.
Okay. Oh, we'll put this back.
See, you can't go less than 3/4. You can take away movement in an elevator, but you can't add movement to it, even if you run it all freaking way up. Well, maybe on this one you can.
This one, great one.
This one goes down to 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
So you go from 3/4 to 1/2. So you can get more. You can get more elevator.
This one here
if you
must be
want
for
it.
1.5 inch orange.
Yeah, that's a big fucker. Pardon my French. YouTube, Facebook, it's 3/4 at the smallest. So you'd probably go 7/8 or 1 inch here on the big.
Well, that's that horn there is 1.25 inches. Okay, let's figure this out. So it's actually immaterial where the turns are. I just need to make these 1 inch wider.
You already got your hard points on there and all that? Or
Yeah, I
them
gotta
off
cut
too?
them off. Where is the scale? Well, we just had there. And this. So we'll make it 1 inch wider on each side. That'll leave me plenty. That'll leave me plenty. Let me, is the sound okay? Can you guys hear us? Winship Models. Dan says hello. Good morning.
Hey, Dan. Morning. What the heck was I going to do here, man?
He's just about got my toolbox done, my toolkit.
Cool.
Looks good. Yep, it's only wood. Made a mistake in layout, but that's part of the R&D. So I think I'm going to cut this close and sand to that line. I can't remember if these were built up or solid. Oh no.
here, I know.
Yeah, these are built
Build
up.
up,
Yeah.
and you're right at the edge of it.
Yep.
Well, take a little bit more off of it. It's only wood. It's only 3/32 inch ribs, aren't they?
Okay. See, the problem is I'm going to have to sand a piece to fit inside there. So. Yeah.
It's only wood.
It ain't as bad as when we cut the tail and moved it back in it.
No, not hardly. It's tough as that one. That was for sure. One puts a little bit of fear into you.
Okay, there's the inside of my elevator. See, because this clip needs to, I need to cut this clip off, and it needs to go back on like so.
The clip wasn't, was it clipped sheeted over top of it, or was
No.
it just sanded flush?
Sanded flush.
Oh, well, that'll be easy.
But it needs something to glue to, so we got to definitely sand a rib to get in there.
Yeah. In fact, I would sand, you know, a heavy 1/8 or a 3/16 piece of wood
Right here.
into there. Yeah. Make that rib thicker.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I gotta get you something to drink. I'll be right back.
Okay, now we'll sand this from a disc sander. I still need to belt the fuselage at the elevator and get the push rod hooked up. We might get the top block. No, because I got to finish up the cockpit floor. I haven't. Well, maybe John's got some 64th we can glue on there. It's a shame. I had these all sanded out real nice and finished. Huh.
Okay, dear. Yes, dear. Anything you say, honey bunches.
Hard to cut through paper.
Yeah.
Dan, are you sanding? You better be out there in the garage sanding. You got sound is good. Tool caddy's finished. Put the 400 grit on it yesterday. Cool. Motovon Wilson. Motobomb Turbinem. I'm not sure what that means. It must be Italian.
I'm not sure either.
Dan should do a video on the tool caddy. Yeah.
I just did it wrong.
Dan looked like the Unabomber last night on the video chat.
Really? I knew I did it wrong. I'm being dumb here.
We need some 80 grit here. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So this is I inboard. Ouch.
Takes you long to look at a burning hot rivet.
You think?
I even got a piece of plywood between it and my finger and still burning me.
Okay, these are the clips, the rib horn clips I showed how to make on the video. We saved them. I don't have to make new ones. I just glue them back on here. And then refinish them off. Okay, I need a small piece to go in here. Use the Edge Cavina Hobby method of marking. So we need to go from 3/16 down to a 16th. So how would we do that? Three 16ths to a 16th. A little proud. Let's sand it a little bit. Craig Biswick, I guess you molded up some shells using my method.
Who did?
Craig Biswick from Australia.
Australian guy, yeah. I've been talking to him a little bit.
See? That fit in there perfect.
Good guy.
And I'll just C8 that in there. I left it a little proud, about a 64th. There you can still see the line. I left the line on. We'll sand down to that line. What are you making? Oh,
Making a lead out slider.
you don't like my kind of slider, my adjustments, huh?
Well, I sort of like these a little better, I think.
Okay, well there it is, fixed, plugged, ready to go. We got this clip that we can epoxy and put it on there and then finish that up. So I moved it an inch and you won't be able to tell. Of course, it'll take some super fill on that thing, I bet. That knocked
I
off.
had this, I won this in a raffle or something. I won, I think it was Walter Unwin that made these sliders and tip weight boxes, and he made some kind of a device for aligning your stab trailing edge with the wing trailing edge. Type of thing.
You mean like the sticks we use?
Yeah, very similar, except it's a lot more elaborate. It has a bunch of laser cut holes in it and all that stuff. It's sort of hard. I think it's sort of hard to use, but it's a nice product and a little heavy on the laser. In fact, burnt stuff a little bit, but I think this was some of his early stuff that he did just starting out.
Okay, now I need to cut a rib for this area right here, so we'll use the Ed Scavina hobby marking system again.
The finger method?
It seems to work pretty well. You boys back there putting fingernail marks in the wood? No, sir.
No, who else? No.
So it needs to go from 3/8 to 3/32. So one of these days I'll learn how to do this.
Just never know.
Yeah, really. A little bit of sanding.
What's that sanding thing you're talking about?
What your wife's doing upstairs at the wall.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's just I filled in some divots where we tore tile off the wall up there, and it pulled it. The wall divots in the wall, and I filled them in. And I did a second coat of them yesterday, and got a couple little marks in it where the went off the edge of the trowel. She had to sand them little high spots off of it. She's gonna paint that today and get the little cabinet back in there and get the stove back in and have her kitchen one more step closer to finish.
There, that didn't take long to straighten out. If you guys are having a problem, I keep saying it, you're not doing it right. It's this is so simple. Just got to think it through.
I think a lot of guys just, they think that it's all this work, it's the work, it's the work. Well, yeah, it is. But it really is, it's only wood. You can splice it, you can cut it off, you can do anything you want to with it. And it's just, look at it as though it's only wood. And you know, if you make a splash, you gotta fix it, and you gotta make it to where you can't see it through your finish. So,
You know, this is gonna make my. See, this was solid wood here. The first inch was solid wood,
oh yeah,
so it's gonna make them lighter.
yeah, should.
But except we're gonna add wire, so that'll make up the difference. The wire will probably outweigh the wood.
Probably.
Let's see what this weighs. Three grams. 3 grams. So we cut 3 grams off of it. If I didn't have to make the wire longer, it'd be 3 grams lighter.
No, you got to think about that stuff. You really do. And you say it's only a gram here, it's only a gram there, this and that. Well,
10 times it's an ounce.
yeah, it just keeps adding up, and you don't realize it's there until it's the end. Even grains. I mean, there's a lot to be said about hollowing out ribs and stuff like that, and individually, all that stuff doesn't weigh anything. But you add all that junk up before you know it. Grains equal grams, grams equals ounces, ounces equal pounds.
I used basswood and 64th plywood on these clips. Okay.
Got that started. Down there.
All right. You got epoxy mixed up?
I just threw it away. It was 5 minutes. You need to mix some.
Yeah, for them. You're going to have to hold one, and I'm going to have to hold one.
That's all right.
You want to get them done quick. Or I can do them one at a time or take 15 minutes. You do that one. I'll do this one. Fit good enough?
Well, you have to sand it again, but yeah, if it's good enough. It's actually a little bit big.
I know.
You'll have to sand it.
The clip is big.
Yeah, because your elevator gets smaller as you get towards the tip.
Right.
Is this the end? You want to keep your marks the same? The inboard on the inboard, outboard on outboard?
Yep.
Is that what you got going here? Okay.
Yep. Looks to me like this clip is off.
This one's
Huh?
same way here, a teeny bit, but it's not off in the centering of it.
No, I'm talking about, I'll have to take a Dremel tool and move that down. Well, of course it doesn't matter. You can
That's all I'm fine tuning it.
bend the wire.
This one's ever so slightly wrong too.
Yeah.
Teeny little bit. Not a little file. That's a little file through
John, any thoughts on the paint scheme for the white plane?
there. No, not yet. Like I said, I got a little bit of brain lock on that right now.
Yeah, here's the thought. Sparky's going to come over here and lay some tape on it. We're going to paint it.
That's possible. That may really literally happen.
Well, your other plane is a mix between my Viper from years ago.
Yeah, I used your front checkerboard thing, and well, they're all, combinations.
Yeah,
of this
they're all
and
the
that,
same.
You just a variation of this or that. You can see impacts and all sorts of different things. A little Bobby Hunt inspiration, a little this, a little that. Hard to hold that on there.
I know. Should be starting to set.
I really clamp it, probably I'll put a piece of tape across it. I don't want to take a chance of pulling paper off or something.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Just
Babysit it.
yeah, babysit, set it. We'll set it straight up and down or something. I don't know.
Got them nice and straight. They're cut nice and straight. Nice tight joint. Tried to keep the leading edge flush. Let it ever hang the trailing edge. That
Yeah,
way
yeah.
all your control horn resets be the same.
If I was real particular, I'd remake this one, but I'll just take a Dremel tool and drop this down a little
Well,
bit.
see, that's what I do is I just take a file and come in straight like this with a file and sort of get that last little bit, because there's always a, you can cut that in exactly the center and all that stuff, just like, I made a piece here somewhere. There was a piece of land here. Here it is. Yeah, these are end clips for your stabbing elevators or whatever, you however long you want it.
Wow, those are end clips?
Yeah.
Out of 3/8?
No, 1/4 inch.
Wow. 1/8 inches, what I make mine out of.
This isn't 8. This
That's 1/8 inch. 1/8 inch basswood with 64th plywood on each side.
And that's what I've been using. It gives you lateral movement. In case the end of your horns.
If you want a lot of them, go.
No, that's not right either. I like to keep that line in there as parallel and everything as I can. That's why I keep these square, and I glue these on while everything's still square.
Yeah.
And that way I can get them flush. That groove is parallel to the center line of the part.
1/4 inches. twice as much as you need.
Well, I was going to go a little next size thinner, but I didn't have any, so I used what I had. It'll be okay. It'll work.
Basswood, half the weight. Leave parts off.
All right, Dad.
Was Ed there at the meeting?
No, it wasn't. Been in a meeting for a while.
I guess he got his crossfire and he's done, huh?
He was the secretary. No, it's more than that. There's been some hurt feelings somewhere along the line and various other this and that's with multiple people, so I can't say it was the people. So, you know, the way I put it, I had to step into a couple arguments and get in between some people and call everything out, and I didn't like having to do. Nevertheless, you know, it's just model airplane, and guys, it's nothing to get the panties in the wad over.
Well, old guys tend to wad their panties a lot.
Yeah, there has a. You got to look at things like this, guys, and here's the deal. When me and Sparky show on these videos, and Sparky by himself, and Dan, and anybody else that has these videos out, you got to remember that it's not the only way. That's their way that they found that it works for them. There's thousands of different ways to skin a cat. And all of them are equally as good. Maybe some not as much as others. Look at all the different ways. Use these videos to your advantage. Take what you want out of them and leave the rest. If you don't like this way, don't do it that way. Do it the way you've been doing it. But if you use this one little piece, then so be it. It worked. It helped. And that's all these are out there for, is just to help, to give you guidance and a guideline of a good, correct way of doing things. No BSing about it. It's just, but it's not the only way, by all means. So you can take that how you want to, but that's a fact. That's setting yet, not quite. My biggest thing, and I tell everybody this, I'm the biggest thief that there is out there, not literally, but I'm an intellectual thief. I'll steal ideas anywhere I can steal an idea, and I'll try them. I'll go home and I'll try them. And if it doesn't work for me, it gets set off to the side. Maybe down the road I'll try it again, and maybe it'll work the second time. Or maybe just that one application that didn't work in and I need to use a different one. But be an intellectual thief. Steal these ideas. That's what we want you to do. And then use them for what they're worth. And if they don't work for you, then fine. That's not going to break our hearts or anything like that. You have to do what works for you in your situation or your materials, machinery, whatever you have that you know causes you to do things a certain way.
Yeah, please do steal them and prove them, because I'll steal them back.
Yeah. If you find a way that it can be done quicker, easier, less sanding, emphasize. If we can get away with less sanding, but chances are you won't do that one.
This weighed, what did it weigh, 9 grams?
Yeah, 9 grams.
The top block ended up weighing 9 grams that I showed how to make, and it fits perfect. What's the bottom weigh? Where's it at?
So it's still in the plane.
I didn't weigh it
What's
up.
your top block?
Yeah, it ain't going nowhere.
You want when I touch it and pull it off. I dropped one.
I don't have the bulkheads in this one.
Still a little squishy, isn't it?
Huh?
Still a little squishy.
Yeah. There's the bottom in better light. And it weighs 9 grams. So for 1/2 ounce, I got a top and a bottom. 9 and 9 is 18, 15, 1/2 ounce plus a couple of grams. We'll just weigh them together.
Yeah, I think we get it.
Hmm. 21 grams. 0.8 ounces. So 3/4 of an ounce. Thereabouts for top and bottom. That's pretty good. You're not going to carve them that light.
Now this is where I'd really like a fender washer, and I don't have any of those. Well, I got the number 6, and that's really a little bit big.
I'll take a number 5 and drill it out. Or you want a bigger washer?
I want a fender washer that's for 440, number 4 fender washer. There's a stainless steel one, but it's too thin. I want a thick fender washer for number 4 hole. I guess I could make one.
Uh-oh, let's see, are you working on the cowl today? Yeah, I'll probably work a little bit on that today.
I'll just do that. Solder a washer on the washer.
How come this glue ain't dry yet?
Did you mix it 50-50?
Yeah.
I don't know. I do know one thing, it's got a tendency just to go off all of a sudden.
I mean, it'll be fine, but because this will probably get stupid filled over the top of this anyway. Yeah, this clip is centered really well, and this one here is off a little bit. God damn.
It'll be all right.
It'll be fine.
Not rocket science, as they say.
Well, that's
Jesus, when did he cut that hole for a number 6 bolt for a lead out guide?
I made these too big, too wide. That's all right.
What do you mean too wide?
I just glue some. I gotta, I knew I'd have to glue some pieces, and I probably could have got away with a 1/2 inch on each side. I went 1 inch. Just to be safe.
You took out, you'll put back in. Problem is, it makes the horn longer than what actually probably needs to be.
That'd be fine.
Man, why didn't I notice it right off the bat? I don't want to use it.
Well, I'm at 3 ounces, but this is finished. I mean, has a finish on it, soap span and so on and so forth.
Tell you what, he didn't want that thing to come apart. Not that much on it.
3.5 ounces with the horn. That ain't bad. With the finish on it.
Not too hateful.
I think my
started out at 2 3/4 or 2 7/8 or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
I think my Thunderbolt stabbed elevator finish weighs 5 ounces. But it's got the paint on it. And it's got urethane on it, so. Yeah, if you happen to build an airplane and crash it, save all the pieces and weigh them. I know what a wing weighs finished. I know what a stab weighs. The only thing I don't know what weighs finished is the fuselage, because usually they're dust.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you end up with a tail part or something. I'm gonna have to make another one of these. I don't like that. Walter, why did you do that?
What do you do?
You drilled this hole for number 6
632?
blind nut, or T nut. That's the 6 bolt to hold that is too much. Just a
256
bunch of weight, yeah. I use 440, and that's way overkill, but
So why can't you use the T-nut on there?
it's such a big hole.
Just
It's just
epoxy,
nothing really for the teeth to grab into.
Or-
That's one part where I want.
Or take a piece of plywood, glue it on there, drill a hole in it, put the T-nut in it.
Yeah, I'll make another slider and give this to somebody else.
Well, then I'll take it.
Take it then. Too big a hole. I don't want to. That's a critical part of the airplane
I'll take it.
control system.
I don't normally do these type of lead outs, but next airplane I build, I'll build with this.
I mean, I'm not out anything that was given to me. I'll just mill another one up.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. 1/8" bit right here, and it's actually 1/8 and 1/4. Now, if I can get it out of one of these child-proof boxes,
They don't want you to steal it. They go on a router or what?
Yeah, it's just a 1/4" shank. Shank down to. Damn, I'll slice this shit out of myself. Can't get that out of there.
Cut her open.
Gotta push it out from the bottom. Dang, boys. Give you instructions on how to use it.
Ain't many flutes a 1/4 inch though.
No, it's for wood. Yeah, it's a wood router bit, basically. But see, that's perfect for a 440 bolt for cutting that groove in a piece of plywood. It gives you just enough clearance on it. Clearance. And I'll put that in my mill and use that as a milling bit.
We got 18 watchers. 10. Hey Dan, that's great. Hey Craig, I have a video footage of me building Sparky's tool caddy. Okay, great. Well, whip it on up, Dan. You doubled your subscribers. You're up to 45 last check. I want everybody, I'll do another video. I want everybody to go over and visit Dan's channel.
I know I'm on it. I should be. I only registered about 3 times on it. It didn't want to take it for some reason. And I kept having to log in. I think it was a YouTube itself problem rather than Dan's.
Uh-oh.
I need some 8-ply, 6-ply,
I got it here.
1/8 plywood.
Let's see what John's skins weigh. You're gonna run 16th or 2 pieces of 16th?
Those are way oversized.
3 ounces.
3 ounces.
Yeah. I'm gonna work on the cowl today. I'm really trying. I want to get this control system, and because I can do everything else at home. I can make a mess on the carpet, no big deal. These are John's 6-pound flaps. You know, this is such a shame because this is so nice. You know, these foam flaps. Yeah. Can't make them light enough.
Well, not to ours. There's a lot of people that would use that. I mean, they would use them in a heartbeat.
Oh, I know. Look at Al Rabe, 3-ounce flaps.
Yeah. It's just that we're getting picky, real picky with weight.
I just subscribed. Okay, great. Dan has 52 now. Okay, everybody. Everybody from
All right,
Stunt Hanger
Dan.
needs to go over to Dan's channel and register. When he puts up my building in my box, I'll link it in my video channel. I'll make him a featured channel so you can find him there.
What did you do with that? Give me that adjustable lead-out guide.
I put it in my pocket.
Well, Jesus, man alive. I want to see. I make mine a little bigger than this, too. So I just wanted to see what it was. 3/8.
See, I brought my own bolts and my own nuts and a T-nut.
Well, I'm proud of you, man. You know all you gotta do is bring over a handful of nuts and bolts and throw them in the tank.
I know.
That must be metric, because that's just a little bit shy of a 1/2 inch. So he must be using metric. Now you're gonna have to cut a metric square hole out to put that in.
Yeah. Well, seeing as that I got metric wood,
Yeah. Yeah. And see, what I typically do is I cut these things at 5/8.
Now what's going to happen is Danny's going to get more. It would be 12 millimeter.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of a 1/2 inch, basically.
Danny's going to end up with more subscribers than me.
Very well could be.
Yep. Why are you using aircraft ply?
Because it's my lead I got. You use a piece of maple. In that one airplane, I know, because I made the piece.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's whittled down to nothing.
Oh, well, this is only, I guarantee you that in the end, when all this is done, it won't weigh any more than a piece of basswood.
Okay.
This is extra wide. I started off with these at 5/8 of an inch, and I cut a groove down the center of them, and it comes all the way out here to this end. You know, you only got about a 3/16 of an inch on the end of the slot. And then an 1/8 inch slot milled out of the center, and then I cut these down to whatever I need them to be. It might end up that size actually in the end, which is 12 millimeters. But for right now, it's big, and the slot's centered in it, and it'll be fine.
It's a good thing we got some metric guys on here to give us again the guidance on the wood.
Yeah, well, I know 12 millimeters is
Less
a little
than half.
bit less than a half. 13 millimeters, a little bit more than a half.
Do you guys have metric rulers?
6 millimeters is somewhere around 1/4 of an inch.
What is the advantage of being able to space your lead out closer or further apart? Now, this is my personal opinion. I think that it's best to have the lead outs as close together as possible. And I don't like fixed. These are fixed at 1 inch. I'd rather have them fixed at a 1/2 inch, but
The only problem,
the clips get hung up.
your clips can get hung up when you're moving your rods, and that's why a lot of guys will make one lead out about 6 inches longer than the other one, so they move like this and they never pass each other. That's the only problem with doing them close together. Now, there's some models in the old time that actually use vertical lines,
Thunderbird.
one over top of the other. And there was a problem with that, and I can't remember what it was. It created a problem because they were too close together or something, or maybe they ran out of the same hole even, but they ran vertical. And whether it was made a wide slot in the wingtip. Now, my wingtip slot, when I do this, when you put the Allen wrench in for 440 bolt, you'll actually sort of spread it a little bit, because I make that slot so tiny that you can just barely get a 440 Allen screw in there to get to that bolt. And when you turn it, you can hear it go click, 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 click as you turn around. Just for aesthetics. I mean, that's what that's for. I don't like one of these big ass gaping 1/4 inch wide slots in the lead out. There's no call for that. I take that slot and I make it about 3/16 of an inch, and then I line it on top and bottom with 1/64 inch plywood, and that way, if your lines go up and down, you got some plywood there, and it won't be cutting into balsa wood on your wingtip. You can do the kind like Robert does, which is a block of wood with a series of holes drilled into it about every 1/4 inch. And you got an eyelet that you push in it and you pull out of it, and they're nice. They work great. Sometimes they'll get loose and they'll fall out, so then you just take a little sliver of paper and stick on that eyelet and shove it back in there, and you're good to go again.
You take a little CA and put on it.
Once you get your trimming done, if you don't have to move them ever again, which I think for the most part most guys do, once they get their airplane trimmed, they're there. They lock them in. But this just gets rid of all the stuff from the outside of the airplane, so you don't see the eyelets, you don't see anything but a little thin slot out on the wingtip. like I said, see, there's more than one way of doing things, and there's two ways. They're both right. They both work great. This wingtip that Sparky's using right here doesn't quite have the finite adjustability, but I'm not necessarily sure that a 1/16 of an inch means that much in the whole grand scheme of things. Now maybe these expert guys out there that they can feel a 1/16 of an inch difference in where that lead out line is and coming out of the wingtip, but I'd be hard pressed to be able to tell. I mean, you can't hang it from the lead outs and tell a difference in the 1/16 of an inch movement of it and the way the airplane hangs. So I guess if you're a machinist and you're using thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, yeah, it can be measured, but that end isn't the be all.
Okay, got that done.
This is 4 inches long.
John, do you put a nut on the back of the slider bolt? Well, JB Weld or something.
No, I normally either booger up the threads with a pair of pliers or put a little epoxy on it, but just make sure that you can back that screw out where you got a little bit of slop. Now, mine won't come apart. You can lose the nut inside there, I guess, if it was to pull out, but you want to make sure you epoxy that blind nut in there really good. But I take my eyelets and I flare them. I put them through there, go through the outside into the slider block, and they're just a little bit long, and then I stick like a taper for a lathe or punch or something. I stick down in there and flare them out. They can't come out of the hole. And then I put a little epoxy just as a safeguard. And the blind nut, I epoxy it in there. Make sure it's in there nice and good. And I've even taken a little piece of tight fitting fuel line and put over the threads. That can come off. But if you just run your bolt in there and take a pair of pliers and booger up those threads real good, it won't back out. You know, you're not gonna, if you feel resistance as you're loosening it up, then stop. Don't turn it any further. And it'll keep it from falling out of there. You won't have a problem. I've never ever had one fall apart on me, even without all that stuff. I didn't run a bolt the exact length. I always run bolts to have however many threads out past the end of the nut is what the diameter of the bolt is. So if the bolt's 1/8 inch diameter, like a 440 is about 1/8 inch diameter, there's probably 4 or 5 threads at least that stick out past. But I let it go a little further than that. On these, I let it stick out there a good, say, 1/4 of an inch, and then just put some epoxy around it, or like I say, take some pliers and beat them threads up real good, and then you won't ever have a problem. These are made to cut this square out of your tip rib. That's the only way this can be mounted now. It can't be mounted from this side at all where you affect the slider. It has to be inset into the rib, flush on the outside. And what that gives you, it just barely gives you a little bit. If you wanted to really lock that in that rib to overlap something, I normally just put a little tab of wood on each end of it. And it's inset in the rib. It can't go nowhere.
I don't mount these on my ribs. I mount them in the wingtip itself.
Right, that can be the same way.
So you cut out the wingtip so that it has a shelf in here
on each end,
and just glue it to inside the wingtip.
Yeah, works the same way. This one right here is made to like go in here. I guess you could mount it in the wingtip, but
oh yeah.
I mean, all's good. It doesn't matter. there's some force on this, but it's not quite what you think it is. This is probably 1/8 inch 6-ply plywood, probably way overkill. But when it comes to control systems, I personally like things bulletproof, so take it from there. Use it at your own risk.
Or something like that.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
I think I made this about an 1/8 inch long, so we're gonna cut it off the end here. That it had that little mark on it.
Saw blade I got. Really good. Bad mama jumbo.
See how much nicer it is to work over here than it is inside my shop? I don't have a shop. I'm working in the bathroom. I want you to build an airplane inside your bathroom.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
We're ready to bend that horn up.
How long a piece of wire you need? First things first.
Oh, about a foot.
No, I'm not cutting a piece of foot-long hard drill rod. One control horn, you can make about 3 out of it. That. Sorry.
An inch. Needs to be 3.5, 4.5.
6 inches.
No, 6 inches is plenty.
That's normally what I've been cutting. 6.
I screwed up. I cut that too wide. I should have made it a 1/2 inch instead of an inch.
How come you haven't been using my ruler I made you?
I can't find it. That's why I can hardly wait to get that toolbox from Dan so I can find that stuff.
Yeah, I'm kidding you. Gotta kid you.
I know it's there. I see it every once in a while.
You know what? It's probably turned up and it's laying right up against the front of a drawer somewhere, and then it's hiding.
Yeah, they do that.
Or it could be back there with the teeth
Yeah, the T-pin is gonna. I did bring home a magnet. Ow, hot. Yeah. It'll be fine. Hit that like button. Let's see. Does moving them further or closer change the control movement? No.
You won't notice it if it does. That's for sure.
Hey Danny, I need a few more slider blanks from you. Got to replace the one that John's got there. Not gonna solder it until when?
I'm gonna bend it first and solder it so
Okay.
I can just.
Gotta get these on her though.
Yep, I know that. You need to put that together and mark this. You need to mark the inside edge.
The inside edge.
Yeah, because that's the inside of the radius, and then it grows the thickness of the wire as you bend it.
Here, you mark it. You know how that thing works.
You just have to mark this edge on your wire, and when you line it up in the wire bender, you have a round post.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in essence, that round post would be sitting in here just like this. You see what I mean? And when you bend it around, it comes to this side of that post, which is the inside of this.
Okay.
So it'll fit tight to your inside here. You see what I mean? You can hedge it a little bit if you want to. But you only got an 1/8 inch here to deal with, so you got to be pretty accurate on your bends.
Right.
I just use a magic marker, and then I've got the thickness of the magic marker line to tell the difference. And my fancy ruler, as Robert calls it. Inch and 3/8. You actually put that in there pretty dang close.
I got decent eyes.
And I just screwed it up. Hold that in there.
I can see 10,000. Probably 5,000.
You got them super glasses on?
Oh, yeah.
Well, now, when you know this thing ain't cooperating, piece of paper.
First one's gonna fit, no problem. That second bend that gets you.
Yeah. And normally I just go ahead and solder this like right now, and then I bend it. But
He has about 500 of those out in the shop.
cool.
They're blanks. I bet you got more than that. I seen the bag.
I wonder if there's a cap for that, man.
I think they're $2 a piece though.
$52 a piece.
$2 a piece.
Yeah, that's about right. A little bit of work in them boogers. You look at them.
Yeah, put the piece of metal in the machine and push the buttons, go drink a cup of coffee, come back, 10,000 of them on the floor. Lots of work.
Very well could be. Let's see, what do we got there in between them two? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a long ways.
Doesn't matter because it's going to be done separate anyway. You know, that's going to put a 1/4 inch radius on 3/32 wire. Probably a little bit overkill, but
Yeah,
you should be, when you bend hardened wire, music wire, or anything like that, and I'm not sure this is exactly right, but it's close. The bend radius in your corner should be
double
the thickness of the wire at a minimum. So there's no sharp, put it in a vise, bend it over 90 degrees and pound it with a hammer deal. That don't get it. So this is overkill. This is a 1/4 inch pin for 3/32 inch wire, which is a big for, you know, the radius, but it'll work fine. The only thing that you have to do when you got a larger radius is you got to sort of angle out the edge where it sticks into the surface. So,
and that's buried inside the horn.
it's all buried. You don't ever see any of that stuff. So it really is a no-brainer. Do nothing.
Let me get the camera over here so they can see a little better. Unplug this.
Okay, so now I've got this in my little clamp here. It's either just a little V-box and it's flat on this surface, and then a V-block on the top that sort of holds that wire in. Piece of aluminum. It's not a press fit. Piece of 1/4 inch spring steel, 1/4 inch hole. Stick it down in there. It's plenty good enough unless you're into manufacturing. Now, the point here that we want to look at is this line on here is the inside edge of the 90. So if you take this line and line it up with this outside edge as a straight line here with this outside edge of this pin, when you bend that, that'll make this pin bend where you want it to. The inside edge will be right on that line at that point. So if you just take a straight edge and you put it on here, that's not the best straight edge in the world. And put it on here. Now, I don't quite have it lined up. It's got to go that way a little bit. Believe me, I don't even have these tightened down. It's starting to hold it. There, it moved. I'm going to go just a little bit proud because we want to clear his 64th inch plywood that he's got on the end of his rib. So I'm going to take that line that I put on there, a magic marker line, and I'm going to sort of hide it. I'm going to make a magic marker line, a fine point magic marker line, longer. So we're right there on that. Now you want to clamp these down really good, and I might even put a pair of vice grips on the very end of this out here just to keep it from, when you bend that around there, it'll have a tendency to want to pull that wire one direction. And although these clamp down pretty good, it can still pull it through there. Maybe not so much on that thin wire, but when you get into 1/8" wire, it can definitely pull it. I wish I had my bender with a ball bearing on the end of it, but I don't. So we'll just, since this sticks out just a little bit here, you don't have to worry about this on the second bend, because the second bend, you got the radius of the bend to go up against a pin that'll sort of hold that. This is just a homemade piece of steel. I put a piece of brass in there as a bearing. I did this side. This is for smaller diameter. This is for 1/4" pin. You got a short side and a long side in case you wanted to do something, multiple wraps or whatever, and stick that over there. Make sure it's down on the way and it's catching the wire. And bend away. I bend a little bit more than I need, and then just bring it back. So I just did it with my fingers. It bends pretty easy.
This is not music wire, it's drill stock.
Yeah, it's I think they call it air hardened drill rod, which means they just heat it up and it's annealed drill rod. Get it from McMaster Car. 3-foot long pieces. You see right here, I got 1/8, 3/32. I'm almost out of 1/8". Need some. And we use 1/8" on flaps. Some guys use 1/8" on everything. Some guys use, small airplanes you can get by with this 3/32 or 3/16 on flaps and elevators, 3/32, whatever it is. And I got something close here to line it up. Probably not. Probably not. I never do.
It'll be fine.
But we'll make it work.
Let's put the vice grips clamping it down this way.
Yeah. That stuff really good. The nice thing about this wire is it's tweakable. You put it in your airplane, and it's not like music wire wants to sort of spring back. You can actually tweak, but it'll hold it strong enough for controls. Let's stick this in one of them and double check our bend.
Gonna have to cut it off, no doubt. It's not in, they're not an inch deep. I don't think, where's that horn? It's right there. Maybe they are. Let's see what we got there. No, they're, I have to cut some off of that. If I'd get away with it, I'd make it even shorter.
I don't like making them too short. What I feel like it does is all your leverage is out here on this, and I mean, you're using at least hardwood clips on there and not just on the balsa wood.
I got the same Dremel tool. You know, I don't like that Dremel tool as well as I like the original.
I don't either. My original, the bearings went out on it.
Same as mine.
And I had a guy make a bushing for me. This is before I had my mill and stuff. And I had a guy make a bushing for me. And it just doesn't work the same. It's got a vibration in it and stuff. They, just sort of mess with you. But I keep it in the background. It's still around.
Yeah, same as mine.
It's there for emergency use if need be. I've got right here, in fact, right here it is. I've got it on the flexible shaft hanging up here in case you need a flexible shaft. And then I got another one in there that's hooked up to a router base.
That's it.
Yeah, that looks like that'll be perfect. Okay, that's just a double check since we bent the wire, and let's just make sure. You got to put everything on this that you need to put on it right now.
First the bearing goes on.
So, one thing for sure, you got to make sure this little puppy's on there in the right direction, because if it's turned around backwards, you're sort of screwed. So, this is going to hang down like that in the airplane. These horns are going to push towards the back of the thing, so it wants to go on there just like this. And you got a hinge on the other end. And now we're going to bend this one. Now, like I said before,
Except you did it backwards. I had this on this side.
Doesn't make any difference, does it?
I don't know.
It's just a 90-degree bend in one side.
I guess it'll work.
And if you got all your center lines worked out right, and I went 1 3/8 in on each end of that wire on that mark.
Well, the horn itself is offset, but that doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter because you can slide this and offset it. You can put it all the way out here on the end if you want to.
Right. It's offset because of the,
You want your bolt clearances and stuff inside your fuselage, so.
Okay. Morning, Fred. We've been on an hour and 30 minutes already and got nothing done.
An hour and 30 minutes and got nothing done.
Yeah, it just seems that way.
It says that.
There we go. We got charging going on now. You ever been to one wire one way, one way the
I
other
haven't
way?
done that, but I've been them backwards.
Yeah.
And I've been, I don't know how many of them when they were already pre-made and everything, been them where the angle of the horn wasn't right. And once you do that, you can't get right.
Right.
All you can do is you can twist them wires like this, but you can't bring one wire, you can't change that vertical movement of the centerpiece. The control horn itself.
Well, that's the nice thing about this, doing it
Well, we're sort of doing a little different, but
Normally that's soldered on.
it's soldered on already.
Yeah.
And then you bend these, and I've got a little L angle bracket that bolts to this jig. And this L angle bracket, your standoff, your control horn bolts to this. So that holds this 90 degrees, or a little bit ahead of 90, or behind it, or however you want it, or wherever you drill your holes that you want. Holds that in place when you bend these wires, so they're always right when you bend them. I don't normally do it like this, but
It'll be fine. Hopefully.
3/8.
Hopefully it'll be fine. RC Fred, $20 super chat. Thank you, Fred. That helps the channel metrics immensely. I hope that you guys get some information, valuable information out of this. Dan, here's that mold stuff that well, I think I showed you that while you were over here. Pot life 45 minutes. I wonder if this stuff's still good. Should be. It hadn't been opened.
I've got some that's probably 10 years old, and I bet you it still works good.
I don't know why did I buy that? What were we gonna do?
What kind is that? Is that the harder kind, or is that the
Soft.
That's the soft, the pink?
Yeah.
I don't know. I use that stuff to make cowlings, but you know.
But now we got a molder in our mix. If we need something molded, we can go to him for the info. When I was doing the molding videos, I knew nothing about molding, zero. And so it was all learn on the fly.
I didn't either. I watched a Wendy video, and I used everything that Wendy used.
Yeah.
Mold Max 30, blah, 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 this and that. I did the mold box the same way he did. I bought the sample packages of that stuff like he did, and of course I think he got into the bigger, more bulk stuff than I did. But anyway, I did all that stuff, and I said, well, at least it'll come out somewhere near like he did. And it did. It came out really nice.
Well, like I told Dan, I figured out this ain't worth it. It's not worth the time.
Well, unless you're going into production, you gotta really watch yourself.
Well, Danny's got a real good setup. He got an oven in his garage and all that stuff.
I got an oven in my garage too.
Yeah.
That I need to get rid of.
Get the controls worked out today, I'll be happy. Then when I take it home tonight, I can finish the top and the bottom and the cowl sanding and all that other business. Need a piece of 8, a couple of sticks of 3/16.
All right, Robert, here you can check this out. Let you put it in there in your airplane the way you're gonna put it in there.
Beautiful. Oh, I gotta cut this off. I guess alcohol. Let's see how close my eyeballs are. What do you think?
16th off.
Nope, 1 inch exactly.
Too short.
Oh, just kidding.
This one over here, 1 inch exactly.
Yeah, you're within. You're within tolerance.
Yeah.
We'll let you get away with it. You guys doing this stuff, I just take a little bag and put all these, you're gonna come up with all sorts of different little jigs and stuff if you make one of these things for bending your horns. Just keep them all together in a baggie. Here's what these little blocks look like. They're just a V notch in here and a couple holes, and bolts go in the holes. Sits down at half the thickness of the wire.
Come on, let's not be difficult now.
All them little pointy things to line up, eh? Eh?
Couldn't get everything lined up all at once.
Yeah, that's typical. While he's doing that, I'll show you. Here's some of this Mold Max stuff. This Mold Max 30, it's sort of a rubbery sort of stuff. I think it's got a shore hardness of 30. And this is a cow I made for Bill Reynolds. Sort of a P47 lookish cow, and that's my mold that I actually used, and then it's finished real super smooth and everything. So the inside of this is all super smooth. Just fill this with epoxy, whatever, blot out any excess. Use a little Cabasol around these hard edges and epoxy, and then lay your glass up, and you're good to go. And here's one that's a little more elaborate, sort of a P51-ish sort of looking cowling. 2-inch spinner. Of course, this is all solid, and you just grind that out to a little edge, and then so lay it up in here and go for it. Now you can probably pull 500 pieces out of this without using any mold release, but you know it'll start degrading after a while, and you need to use mold release on it. So if you're doing it commercially, you know, or multiples.
Oh.
And then while we're on sort of cowling and molding, we might as well touch base on this thing a little bit. I had a Nobler kit. And the cowling in it was all yellowed and nasty, and
The canopy.
Or the canopy. And we didn't know what the heck to do, and I really didn't want to buy one. Said, let's make one. So we did. I believe that's what's inside this little gift package here. That was a tinting project there. Where's the original? I think I put the original back in the box, but these are all molds that I pulled off this one mold. It's just plaster Paris. I took the original mold and I added extensions to the top and bottom and front all the way around it so it poured deeper. And then I just turned it upside down, filled it with plaster Paris and let it dry. And then just took and molded my canopies off of it. It's perfectly good just like that. You don't need any more finish than that. This is a tinted canopy off that mold. Looks great, light gray. That'd be a nice canopy on anybody's airplane right there. It's a beautiful little canopy. This is one more good one. I had some really good ones. And normally when you pull these things, your first couple, you'll get the plastic too hot. It'll bubble.
It'll crinkle like this.
It'll crinkle, or you'll get, if you don't have enough relief, you'll get wrinkles in it. All that's about is setting it up. You're too low. You need to come up higher and stretch the plastic more to get that out of it. But there's a
That tinted one turned out real nice.
clear one. That's
Same process we used when I made the. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't use plaster Paris for my Dr. Pepper airplane. I made a balsa mold.
made a plug, and it came out great. We molded that over here in one of our little sessions. It's just some of the things. Now, guys, listen. I had zero experience doing any of this stuff. I just said I wanted something, and I set out to do it, and I did it. And it didn't take a whole lot. It wasn't rocket science. It's just
Are we going to mark this?
effort.
Where it goes right there.
You need to know where it goes for sure, because
Give me the pen. Is it? I mean, is that going to interfere with the solder?
well, we'll set up a jig with the mark, and then we'll pull it out of the jig, and we'll clean it, because everything's got to be really clean.
Mark it. I'll hold it right there.
I can't tell. If I'm
It
getting
did.
the
You
mark
got
on
it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, this is being done ass backwards, but
Yeah, I don't normally like doing it this way. Not guaranteed.
it'll be fine. Oh, we can take these off. These come right off.
Like I'm off? Well, that's good.
They normally don't come off. Dan should sell bell cranks, landing gear, and wing cores. Well, he used to, but I'm not going to allow him to do that anymore. Who makes the best wire bender? Well, when I don't have John's, I use a Harry Higley heavy duty.
That's what I got. If I'm just bending wire.
It's a nut.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's just one of these. It's a Harry Higley. You clamp this in the vise, stick it down on there, and bend away.
They work good.
They work fine. They'll bend 1/8 inch.
That's what I use in my house, my little apartment.
Albeit with a lot of effort.
I got a little clamp-on vise to the TV. Did you see that when you're over there? The vise clamps to the TV stand. It's over there. Yep, Dan used to sell bell cranks and landing gear and wing cores and all that stuff, but he's going to fly this year. He doesn't have time.
Been that business route before.
It ends up like a job.
Yeah, well, it is.
I used to build airplanes for people. It's a lot of work. And you're not really making any money. Get that on the right way now.
It hasn't come off the wire.
Yeah, but you can put it on the top or the bottom. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter. Yeah, it does matter.
It does matter. Yeah, it in there just like that, am I correct? Is it offset to that side?
Yep. Coming up on 2 hours now. Are you guys happy with the long videos? Most YouTube videos are 15 minutes. You can't hold people's attention for 15 minutes. Double check.
do this a certain freaking way, and this ain't cooperating with me doing it like this. Why ain't this
That ain't right.
cooperating? Yeah, it is. It's just like,
It goes just like that. So in order to get it like that, you need to turn it the other way and move this up.
see, this jig isn't made for doing this like
You got a
this.
little spring clamp with your,
Yeah, that's what I do is I put that there and use this. I normally wrap some wire around this to sort of hold it in place. But what I'm trying to do is get this lined up and down in between the marks because I got to actually fold off there and clean the marks off. So I gotta get it set in there right now. I wish I could put it in there like that. That ain't gonna help. Let's see if I go underneath. There, let's do it like that. That ain't gonna make a difference either.
put it on the mark. Am I touching it?
Gotta go down. Right there. Up a little bit. Up. Oh,
I mean, it's not that critical. It's just close. Shouldn't you spring clamp that in there so it don't move and then move the wire around?
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I can hold it in all directions because I need it setting on this, so I need to clamp here and I need to try to clamp it up here to keep everything square.
Clamp that.
Get a-
Clamp that stinger on there, the tang first.
I gotta take it all apart.
Right.
and clean it real good. Which is just getting this lined up right.
You got too many moving parts. Okay.
I say I don't normally do it like this. So
Yeah.
I got an easier way that I do it.
Right. Okay. There, it's on the line, but this
This has to be all the way around here. Which it won't go far enough because it's not out that way far enough.
Do we need to move this? Let's see here.
That's got to be where it's supporting this leg, so you got to go that way with it. This way more. Like that. It's not supporting it. Got to be in. That's probably gonna be too high up like that, isn't it?
Probably. Now it's gonna come out. down just a few thousandths. Now it's gonna go up. Okay, that's it right there.
You line that up on that leg.
Except it's gotta be, see that thing is crooked in there, this piece here.
I understand that.
Okay, straight, okay, tighten it up. Okay,
The biggest thing is just getting this the right height. And we can get the rest of it if we clean it up.
it's gotta go up.
This is why I always bend these things after I solder this.
Down. Right there. Okay, now the way it looks to me, in order to make this perfect when we put it back there, this horn has to go up against this piece here. So we get it square there. Now that's square on there. So that bend there goes right against the edge. And it's flat against the wire against the jig. Hold that right there. Go down or up? I can't tell. Gotta go down. Down. Down.
Let me get my finger up from underneath of it.
Down.
Won't go down any further right there.
Right there. Okay, gotta go up. Right there. Okay, hold it. A lot of futzing.
Yeah, this ain't me here.
Now, undo that screw there. Well, maybe not.
All you gotta do is hold this like that.
Okay.
See what I mean? And if you just take a little clamp and do one of these numbers right like this, just to guide it.
It'll be close enough.
I don't even do it either.
A little vice grip or something. Pliers. Does that look right?
Yeah, if you want straight up and down, right?
Except
90
that, you
degrees.
know what? Except it ain't right. These have to be going that way. That's towards the front.
Yeah, they certainly do. See, that's why you can't turn that around like you had it.
Why can't I just take this and put it on this way?
Pain in the ass, ain't it?
Starting to get agitated.
Yeah, I know. I'd already had that soldered if I'd done it the other way.
Okay, clamp this on here. Wait a minute. Get that off of there. Clamp her down. Up a little bit. Clamp her down. That's it right there.
this?
Yeah, well, just figuring out how to do it. What are those screws for?
That's what's fine.
Okay, so now, without moving this, we're gonna take this off. Let's make a mark. Where's that pen?
Well, this is your thing. This doesn't matter. Just make it where it sticks out and it's flat up against the bar. You're gonna use alcohol and everything anyway, so your marks are gonna be removed.
Well, if you don't remove the mark that I'm gonna put on it, it'll be fine. You got a regular Sharpie? Don't get any alcohol over here on the back side. Yeah, that'll be fine like that. Okay. We got her now. We're cooking with gas. You want to put that on here first, or? Nothing's freaking cooperating today.
Reason why I'm so careful with this stuff is this is silver. This isn't, it's got a high graded silver in it. And I gotta cut a little teeny donut out of it. So I just wrap that around that diameter wire and this works pretty good. Did this flat. Hold it or something. Which side's gonna be up? Guys, you know what I'm doing. This is nothing more than Derek Moran's did this thing. He did a big article on how to make all these jigs. Now he does it a little bit different. We're being unconventional here. We're not doing it
Not doing
by the
it.
book.
Look at it, solder it up right there where it is. Let's see what we got here. A video of the jig with measurements.
No, there no. You make it whatever you need it.
Emilio, buenas tardes. ¿Qué onda? Well, we fiddle-futzed around, and I think that it's about where it needs to be.
Might be.
Can't really zoom with this camera, or can I? Oh, I can. There's the jig right there. That's as far zoomed in as it goes. So I got it on the line, I think. And all this stuff here is pretty important to get right because it messes with your geometry, control geometry. I'm going to tape this on there, on the bottom. This is the eyeball eccentric. It's been cleaned with alcohol. You're gonna a little loop of silver has been put around that, and put some flux on it with a toothpick.
Yeah, I put a goodly little bit on them.
Did you notice I set this up for a pipe tunnel too?
Yeah. It's just good move.
Just in case.
You know, it doesn't cost you anything weight-wise or nothing like that. And if you ever want to go,
Yeah, if you ever want to go to a pipe, man, it would be a hell of a thing to have to cut that open and get a tunnel in there.
Oh yeah, all you gotta do is cut that little oval out to fit the pipe in. And finish that little edge and you're done. The
Yeah.
pipe mount, you already put the pipe mount and everything in there?
I
Oh,
haven't.
That's just a little piece of wood glued in anyway.
Piece of wood and a 440 blind nut.
This is MAP gas, but I've done this with just, the little blue propane tanks without any problem. But everything seems to be being difficult today here.
of course.
Let's double check everything and make sure it's all lined up right. Looks pretty good. It's the right direction. Got flux, got the silver on there. This will actually go pretty quick. I'm going to light the torch up, and then we're just going to start heating this right in this concentrated area here, up and down, get the wire good, get everything equally heated, and then all of a sudden you'll see the flux will disappear, it'll turn into a liquid and sort of evaporate down in there like, and then then you'll see the little donut of silver on there, and it'll just be sitting there, and all of a sudden it'll just sort of wick away, and it'll go down in that joint, and then you keep it on there for just a little teeny bit longer, and then pull it off there, and then don't touch it, just let it air cool. So here we go. Put this out here where I can get around to. There's the flux. You see the little piece of silver. There it went. You can see it sort of wick down into it. It all's right. We have one nice little solder job. It's pretty quick. It is essential, and if you need to go on Derek's and look up his video, because it's essential that you drill a proper size hole for this wire. It has to be big enough to be snug, but loose enough to allow that solder to wick through it. It's not really solder, it's silver. And this silver is it's a 3/64 diameter silver alloy 45 wire times 1 TIA coil. It has cadmium in it. So if you're soldering a lot of this stuff, it can cause cancer and all that kind of stuff. But
If you breathe, it'll cause cancer.
It's a brazing product. So you can't just use a soldering gun on it, it won't get hot enough. You're tempted, aren't you?
Yeah.
I am always.
But it won't take you long to inspect it.
Nah, it won't take too long. Drop hot rocks real fast. Sort of fussy doing it like
Let's
that.
see. Got to run. Catch you later, Chris. Have care. Take care.
Yeah, kind of a little fussy doing it like that.
I couldn't find any 1/8 inch over there in this scrap box. You got any 1/8 over here?
No, I don't have a whole lot of 1/8 inch.
Well, here's 3/32. This will work right here.
I mean, there's all these sticks down in here that are just cutoffs, and there's all sorts of different. There's
That's 8. Just need 8 inches.
how wide do you need your?
That's fine. This is just the banding for the stab to sit on.
Oh, okay.
You know, goes right here.
Yep. Hey, what the lamp's hot.
The Covina Hobby marking method.
Yeah, gonna leave a mark.
You boys putting fingernail marks in that wood back there? No, sir. The way he used to look over the counter at us was menacing. Of course, we were little, you know.
It should have been menacing. You're probably being typical little kids. Raising Cain.
Okay, I've made these two sticks as banding for the stabilizer to sit on. And how that works is you just take and glue them in flush. And you wouldn't think that this would matter, but it does. Because my fuselage sides are only 3/32 thick, so you want something for the stabilizer to rest on, and make sure to glue them up to this bulkhead. That'll give something for the stabilizer to rest on. Of course, this gets super filled on the outside, but not on the inside. What we've been doing lately is not gluing the stabilizer in until after the top is on. That way you can jig it, set it, eyeball it, measure it, and get it perfect. Well, this ain't exactly a machine shop. It's just a shop, but he does have some machines. This is hillbillyology here.
Yeah, pretty much. Backyard mechanics 101. Doing enough to get things done.
Let's get nature going. Two hours, 27 minutes. So I don't know what time it is. Probably getting to be close to lunchtime. 9, 10, 11, about 12 maybe. There'll be a whole lot going on tonight on this airplane in my apartment.
Sanding?
Yes, lots
You're
of sanding.
sanding?
Yeah, I'll be sanding. Let's see how it fits.
A nice little silver braze around that.
Didn't quite run to the other side, did it?
It went through there.
Okay, so now I've got to put my bearings on this. And surprisingly enough, him using the 1/4-inch bend, where I bend a little sharper, makes these go on and off okay, which is kind of cool. So now I put this back in here. With any luck, it'll be close to the right place. Maybe. I'll know in the first one I put on. Looks pretty good. Let's see, this was outboard. Now you may watch other guys with hinging materials, and yeah, it's simple and easy. These are a little difficult, but they don't flap like that. Yep, that's perfect. Came out perfect. Perfect is what we like. Okay. It's over to the correct side and everything. So now we could fit a push rod on there. We'll get back to where it's going to be.
And this one mine?
Yeah, you can have it.
Put that in the car.
I'll buy a couple of
We need to get
blanks.
Danny send us some
I'll buy some from Dan, the blanks.
adjustable tail. Let's see what do we got in here. Yeah, I think that's what we need. Adjustable elevator. Being flappers.
Okay, so what are we gonna do? What time is it?
12:02. Got a little bit of time. Where you at?
I'm right here. Where
You
you
got,
at?
I mean, you gotta put your doublers in there,
All done.
they're already in there.
Man, we ain't screwing around.
Else you don't glue that in. You gotta set your 0 on your push rod.
Yeah.
This is the tricky part.
I'm gonna move this to the other side where I got a little more room. I'm gonna turn your wing long ways on the end of the bench. Is that all right?
Yeah. I don't have any more. We run out of room here too. It doesn't make any difference from how much room you got. You still run out of room. You still run it. Look what I got. I got this wing upright in the bottom mold, in the top mold.
You got a 1/4-inch wrench?
Somewhere. There'll be a couple of them up in here.
Man, the snap-on foam. It's Duralast.
Hey, it's a pretty nice little wrench for $2 or whatever, $4. Something like that.
Yeah.
I think I got that one at
Damn.
AutoZoom or something.
Yep, that's Duralast brand. The Zone. The Toe Zone. Okay, now this is always tricky. I usually end up drilling a hole in this so I can run a ball driver in there. Shoot, I brought too long of screws. You got a 3/4? I'll trade you for 1 inch. 440.
Yeah, you might have to cut that down because I'm out. Well, maybe not.
Which is a bummer because I had I got 100 3/4 and 100 1 inches and
Use long and 3/4. I don't have very many. Yeah, you gotta reestablish the stockpile every wick stick, and I haven't done that in a while. And there's a few things that I'd like to get. It's sort of costly when you go doing that.
okay, so now I need 1/8 drill bit, ball driver. Okay, what I normally do here the blue rail on the side of John's bench is a feather cut foam cutting machine. It doesn't do it like Dan does it. It only does one side at a time. That is pretty ingenious, that two-sided foam cutter.
Yes, it is.
Still like to see it down horizontal.
So I'm just going to drill a hole and one hole in each side of the fuselage to put the ball driver through, just to make it easy on myself. And then we just plug them up. I mean, it's not a big deal. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. Oh yeah. Make sure that you put lock nuts on the end of these. And let me give you a little clue on lock nuts. They're only good one time.
Pretty much.
So if I were to take that off and try to reuse it, it's no good. It's lost its lock nutting properties. So now I needed a hole on this side. I just eyeball it, you don't. And to fix that, you just whittle a dowel and, whittle a balsa dowel and stick it in there and drop a CA and never see it. Give me a forceps. You get small ones, that's fine.
You want them 10-inch long things? I wish I had my other ones. I had some curved end ones. I don't know what they got. They shot them on straight them or something. And I can't find them.
I showed a pair on the on my hanger rash. Are those yours? I don't.
I had two. I had a little pair and a bigger pair. I had one that size with curved tips, and I had one
Yeah, I got a pair like this with
like
curved.
4-inch ones with curved tips.
I got a pair like this with curved tips, but I thought I had them.
I thought I took them out in the garage when you were over here to hook onto your hinges so we could paint.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have took them home.
They're not
They're not in the garage either, and they're not down here, so I don't know where they got to.
I'll bring them over next time I come, and you can look at them and see if they're yours. I don't think so, but if I took them, I didn't do it intentionally.
I know. I don't worry about that. I know you're not going to steal from me or nothing. I'm going to make a little bit of noise here. You don't mind a little bit.
Well, I screwed up. I didn't get that up high enough. I think I did it right.
See, just cut that slot in there on that milling machine, but you don't need a milling machine to do that. You can get you a Harbor Freight sells a little XY milling vise that you can put on your drill press, and for light duty stuff like this, the drill press is plenty adequate for this, milling some plywood or something, maybe even light aluminum without a problem. That's just a router bit that I got from Home Depot, or not Home Depot, Ace Hardware. It's a 1/8 inch.
I think I might have to cut out
$10.
I might have to cut out the slot here so I can get the. I do.
Very nice. Now I gotta make.
It's only wood.
Yep.
Cut her out. Glue it back. Fit it, cut it. I think I'm gonna glue that first.
Well, I wish I had that new thing when I was trying to make them hinges the other day.
Huh.
That thing's smooth. I was trying to use an old dull
Give me the kicker.
1/8 inch burr.
That still ain't sticking. What the hell's the deal, Larry?
Need some thick in there or something. I don't have.
No, I'm all
I got
right.
thick, but it's not much.
It's all right. I got it.
I'm running out of some things here. Need that. This. Need a couple of inch holes.
I had to remove this piece of that bulkhead so I can get the push rod up and attach it.
After 5/8 is 10/16.
There we go. Now, when you're putting in your push rods, the most important thing on your airplane is your control system. It has to be free. So you want all these ball links perpendicular to the ground. It's got to be at a 90-degree angle to the trailing edge. Otherwise, the ball link will rub in there and cause some impediments. Now, another important factor is a washer on each side of this T-nut. So you want washer on the outside of the ball link, outside. In case something happens, the ball link won't flip off. And ask me how I know this. And then a washer on the inside to rest up against the horn. Giving me a fit. Get up there. So now you want another washer on there. And now comes the, I ought to just cut this out too so I can operate on this.
You got the 1/8 inch bit?
Yeah, it's right there. Here. We're gonna relieve that push rod 100%. That way I can work on it. So now comes the horn. And then the T-nut. And the reason why you want that washer on the inside of the ball link is the ball link is round and the horn is square. And if you tighten it up, it'll spread them.
It will definitely spread them. And then it'll move. Move.
And then you'll be crying. I hope I don't know that you saw my push rod making. I measured it and made it, and I hope I got it close. I don't have to dick around with.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of room for error on this thing, really.
I need the Dremel over here to cut this off. I'm gonna eyeball 3/4 of an inch, a little less than 3/4.
What are you cutting off?
The bolt,
Oh. You want just a shorter bolt?
just cut it off. It's already on there. It's too hard to get on and off.
That's too short. I don't have anything in between that.
Just whip it off. When in doubt, whip it out. Now unplug this. Plug this.
No, put this on. Round that over.
Looks like it still might rub in there. Even.
Yeah, it's a tight fit back in there.
Might have to have a little pooch like my Tucker did.
I've taken them and put a wider rib back there underneath the stab where you don't see it.
It'll be okay. How are we on length? Looks pretty good. Man, I'm good.
Yeah, get your close. Get your flaps down more. Could be down around in there.
Up a little bit.
I can't get back far enough away from it to really like
There.
it.
Just stand over there. These are up a little bit.
That's pretty good on the flaps, not too far off. Need to shorten your push rod a little. Two ways of doing that. You can move that stab backwards, or you can shorten the push rod. Either way, it does the same thing. Makes the other rod longer.
Lengthen the tail moment a little bit, it's easier.
Do what?
I'll just cut this 1/16 of an inch, slide her back, and then fill in the front.
I like to try to keep as much ball link engagement as I can before starting adjustments. You know, you can't lengthen the things once you start messing with them.
Come on. I'll just use the cut-off wheel to lengthen it up. That looks pretty good right there, John. Check it out and see what you think. We got 22 watchers, but we only have 19 likes. Why is that?
Oh, 22 likes. Come on, guys. Press a button.
Stand back and look and see what you think. That's close enough to work with, isn't it?
Yep. Sure is. You could take put your 2 sticks and your 2 little clamps on your elevator and
See where the flaps are.
see where the flaps are at. Yeah. But it looks to me like you're pretty doggone close right there.
Things don't want to cooperate today.
Yeah, one of them days, I guess. Like the other day when I was plumbing in the kitchen, and me and plumbing don't get along together. I'm underneath that sink, and Barb, she says, "John, you better quit for a while." About that time, things started flying.
There we go.
And it wasn't the fact that I was having a hard time, or I didn't know what to do or whatever like that. It was the fact that I can't get in those positions anymore.
Yep, and that'll do it right there. So now we'll take these pieces and glue them back in. Maybe.
Personally, I just put a stick across it.
I was gonna get that too.
Oh, you got them bulkheads lined up with that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a difference. Yeah, it makes a little difference.
We got a little rubbing going on, maybe. I don't know. No, maybe not. Doesn't matter. It'll get a pooch there if it needs it. And those little pooches are hard to make. They are.
Oh, yeah, I know. We need a pooch maker.
Get in there, quit monkeying around. Look what happened to the tip.
You dropped my bottle of super glue?
Nope. I counted it up on the wing.
You didn't poke a hole in your wing, did you?
No, I hit the flat.
I got another tip.
Things are just not acting right today.
Yeah, think there is.
But at least the push rod's in it. That was the main goal for today, to get that in there. I can do everything else at home. Won't line it up till next week, I'll get it all finished.
Yeah.
This will give me something to work on. Okay. The weight of these clamps keep wanting to take the fuselage, the stabilizer off the fuselage. I'll try it there. Better. Okay. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to cut that or not. Oh, yeah. Now, a lot of guys would leave that hanging out there because it's not that big a deal. We cut a 1/4 inch off a 440 bolt. Just that little piece. But if you don't take that out, I mean, you have to save everywhere. Your airplane will end up 70 ounces. And I've had plenty of 70-ounce airplanes in my life, and they ain't no good.
Take a little bit of the fun factor on that.
So I can't glue that on here because I need to finish the cockpit, but I can. You don't have any hoops, do you? Any carving loops?
No, I don't have any of these. Well, I have one, but it ain't worth the crap.
I need to carve out this nose block, so I think that's probably as far as I'm going to get to go today on this over here. Got to have carving hoops. Except I could take the cowl off and just sand off 1/2 inch off the bottom. Yeah, that's that one.
Yeah, that's that one. That's that one I gave you. Yeah, it's
That's the one. No thanks.
Too bad there ain't an easy way to sharpen
But there ain't.
that. To sit down with a
Honing.
little hand stone and try to.
Oh man.
Sharpen them up, but that's
Let's get a progress report. Hey, we got 20 watchers and 20 likes. That's what I like to see.
fantastic, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Calling for a progress report.
Chris Parky?
Calling for a progress report. Where are you at?
You mean where am I standing or where's my airplane at?
Where are you standing?
Standing right here in my garage.
There you go. Now, how far is the airplane?
Huh?
How far is the airplane?
I'm working on the stab right now. And I'm working on the wing and the stab.
Okay. So we
Did
can.
John tell you what I was gonna do with the fuse?
No.
No, I haven't talked to him about that stuff yet, Dan.
Okay. You guys still on live?
Oh yeah, you're broadcasting to the world.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I went over a couple things with John the other day. And yeah, I'm standing out here right now packing some carbon fiber in this stab.
Oh boy.
I just got done doing the final sanding on your tool caddy with 1,000 grit.
1,000 grit.
I got her polished up nice.
Yeah.
It's bare wood though.
Yeah, it's gonna be 20-pointer, huh?
Oh yeah, it'll be on the front of that workbench. So
I'll just get some polyacrylic and spray it on.
well, I'll tell you what, I got some high dollar stuff that we use on wood floors. It's sort of like the old dope. They only sell it in quart cans because of the VOC.
Yeah.
I got about a half can of that. I'm going to give it to you, and you're going to put a killer clear finish on that if you want.
Okay.
Stuff goes on nice. It sands like it powders when it sands. It's not gummy,
Right.
and it's super waterproof. It's like the good stuff from the 70s, you know.
Oh, there we go.
So I got some of that for you if you want it.
Yeah. It's either that or paint it with some urethane death paint.
Yeah. I'd leave it natural. I'd just coat it with some real nice clear coat.
Yeah.
It'll look nice.
Well, I'm sure you're a craftsman. It'll be nice.
Well,
Has it got any drawers in it?
no, it doesn't, but it's got a bigger lid and it's got a deeper cabinet in it. But I was thinking about the drawers and I thought, well, I'm not sure how I'd keep that thing from popping out if you had to transport it.
It'll be fine.
It made it too complicated, but I guarantee you one thing. It's a lot better than the one I got.
And did you drill holes for the screwdrivers and stuff?
No, I didn't do that because I wasn't sure what you wanted. I mean,
Listen, I trust you. Drill it ever how you want. You got the drill press and the bits,
okay,
and I'll put the tools in accordingly.
okay. Well, I think what I can do then, I can drill the holes.
Gotta have 440
I'll drill
Allen
them for
wrench.
like Allen wrenches and small screwdrivers. And then if you need to actually enlarge the holes, you could just chase it with a bigger bit. How's that sound?
That's fine.
That's what I did. I drilled the hole small, and then I go back later if I need to and open it up for a bigger screwdriver.
Right. Well,
That sounds like the ticket.
most of my tools are modeler tools in that place, you know.
Right,
I got a toolbox for wrenches and stuff.
right. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I was on the chat last night, man. I was so tired I could hardly stay awake.
You look like the Unabomber.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he looked like, but I felt tired. I mean, I almost thought, well, I'm not going to do it because I'm so tired. I thought, I'll go ahead.
Did your wife ask you if you were talking to Jake from State Farm?
No, she's up there visiting her sister, so
Oh,
she's not around, so I could do that without, bothering her.
Did you go on the after chat or just the regular Friday night?
I did both.
Both, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, you were up late.
yeah. I see the last time I did it, my wife, the cats woke her up, so my wife comes walking in. She said, "Who are you talking to?" And like the Jacob State Farm commercial. What are you doing up at 1:30 in the morning talking? Who are these people on this thing? I said, well, it's sort of like Jacob State Farm, but instead it's Charles Carter, a stunt hanger. Hey, and then the next morning she said, who were all those old people? She said, are they all retired? I said, yeah, they're like me. They're retired and ain't got anything else to do.
Pretty much. That's the whole control line crowd, just about.
Yeah, yeah.
50 or 60 is probably an average age.
That's sort of scary, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
well, we've been on for 3 hours now. I think I'm going to end the stream. We'll do lunch. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't hang up, Dan. And I don't know if we're going to come back or not today because I'm basically done over here. I mean, I got what I needed to get done. And we'll see you later from the shop. Maybe come back here today or maybe later on from my house. So until I see you again, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
Yeah.
Okay, you're offline.